sides. Good. And then in this position, I also want you to take that right hand kind of up and over, touch that opposite shoulder blade. Good. And then switching sides. Good. And I want you to face the camera. I want you to go right foot planted, left leg up, nice and tall. Bring that knee to the chest. Holding for a couple of seconds there. And you can even bring that knee a little bit higher. All right, so I'm going to have him reset here. So reset. I want you to keep that right leg locked down and then lifting that left knee up as high as you can. So ideally, Ty's going to keep that leg locked, but we have some work to do. So I want you to switch sides. Good, bringing it back down. And then I want you to go about hip width apart. There you go. Let's get your toes nice and straight. I want you to go arms up overhead, reaching up to the sky. Best you can, give me 3 really good squats there. Best you can. Very good. Nice. I want you to turn yourself facing the wall. Keep those feet about hip width apart, toes nice and straight. Arms up over your head. And I want you to squat back down again. Give me 3 more good ones. Nice. Very good. So arms can go to your side. I want you to go feet about hip width apart. You can get them even a little bit closer. And all I want you to do is a reverse lunge with your left leg going back as far as you can comfortably in that normal reverse lunge position. And I want you to do 5 of them in place, just that left leg going back. Good. Keeping his chest up, torso's nice and tall. That's what we want to see. I want to be able to kind of view the sides of his legs to make sure we look at the torso, see where the legs are moving. Then I'm going to have him spin around facing the other way. Left leg. Right leg is going to come back. He's going to go nice and tall again. Same thing. Good. So I'm going to have Ty go onto the ground, lay on his stomach. Yep, you can lay. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to actually put him in what we call a bottom up. I'm going to set Ty up in what we call a bottom up push-up. This is one of my favorite variations on how to start utilizing a push-up because it forces him to do basically everything correct. So in this position, I want you to go toes digging into the ground. I want your chin to be tucked, looking straight down, making sure that his ears, shoulders, and hips are all one straight line. And even right now, you can see that he's flexed forward just a little bit. I want him to just pull back just a little bit right there. And then the real key for me is going to be thumbs just outside of what we would say nipple level or chest height. So right there, good. And now what I want him to do is I'm going to coach him through actually just doing a push-up in this position. So what I want him to do is really dig those feet hard to the ground. He's going to really flex his stomach and his lower back to create that good core and trunk stability. He's just going to push himself away. So when you're ready, you can push yourself away. Good. And in that position, I want you to get your hips up just a little bit squeeze that stomach, and then another big key for me is I want him to engage his glutes. And I don't know if you can see from the camera right now, but he's already shaking just a little bit, just because we're forcing him into a real good trunk stability position. So in this position, I want him to flex his glutes as hard as he can, good, and really maintain good posture in that neck so that he doesn't move at all. So even in this position, I want him to protract just a little bit more, flex a little bit harder in each glute. Notice how he's starting to shake a little bit more. And then I want him to actively pull himself, almost like a row, back to the ground, keeping those shoulders, ears, and hips all in one straight line. It's good. Take a little breather down there. As you'll see in the video, his head kind of came forward just a little bit. That's something we're utilizing as an assessment. So we're going to go through that again. So same thing. Thumbs are going to be outside his chest, nice tight stomach. When he's moving, we want his ears, shoulders, hips, and his legs to all be in one straight line while he's engaging his glutes and his trunk. So when he's ready, he's going to push him up again. Good. Really engage, flex those glutes. Good position. And now this time I really want him to focus leading with his chest back down to the ground. When you're ready. So again, you can see his head right now. I want you to, do 3 full reps so that we can see how you're moving and how you may break down or fix your positionings as you get going. So one more rep here, Ty. Tight stomach. Good push off. I want you to pull that head back just a little bit more. And I want you to think, nothing's moving here, leading with that chest, go for it. Good, and then rest. That last execution was exactly where I want him. His head's not kind of poking forward, his trunk is in really good position, and he's probably tired just from that exercise. So the next position I'm going to have Ty set himself up in is to check and look at his glute stability and how much strength he has. So in this position, I'm going to have Ty bring his knee towards his chest, where his thigh, his femur, is going to be leaning right against his rib cage. And let's check. So I want you to get yourself down even a little bit more. And you can even get your arms out in front a little bit more, almost like a little bit more of a front plank. Good. And his back toe, his back foot's going to be buried into a comfortable position. Ideally, we want everything locked up together up front so we can actually assess what's going on at the hips. The next thing I want Ty to do, it's going to be really challenging, is I want him, he can push his forearms into the ground. I don't want him to move his upper body, but I want him to try to lift this right leg off the ground. So I'm going to give him a chance, try to lift that right leg off the ground. On your video, I want you to give it a shot best you can. And as you'll see, he probably cramped right there. Alright, so we're going to reset. Not a big deal, this is very common. And so Ty does not have the strength to get into this position. This is why we're assessing it, and that's okay. So I'm going to have you slide forward just a little bit more, Ty. There you go. You okay? Alright. So same thing, he's going to bring those forearms to the ground. And then in this position, he's actually exactly where I want him. I want his toe locked into the ground there. And then I just want him to try to extend that back leg best he can. So yep, he's going to go back toe into the ground. Here you go. And I want him to try to lock up using that glute. So he's going to kind of pull that knee off the ground, flex that butt. And then I want him to flex that glute as hard as he possibly can. Let's hold it for a count of 5. You might be able to see that he starts to rotate his trunk a little bit.